Tonight, we continue our Fighting Fentanyl series. The synthetic opioid has created a deadly crisis throughout the country. The National Institute on Drug Abuse says in 2021, more than 70,000 people died from overdosing on fentanyl.
The drug is also affecting the way that local police departments do their work. Our Stephanie Jimenez visited Salt, where she spoke with the city's police chief.
About 7,000 people live in Salt, which is about 55 miles southwest of San Antonio.
Can you speak to that?
But Salt Police Chief Daniel Flores says lately more of his officers are focusing on fighting and eliminating this drug, fentanyl. It's taking lives.
We had 3 separate incidents on 4th of July weekend involving overdoses, which were later found out to be fentanyl related.
And Chief Flores says fentanyl is unlike anything his officers have dealt with before. For reference, just a few grains of this stuff, 3 milligrams of fentanyl, is enough to kill an average adult male. So officers take precautions if they're near it.
They come into contact or if they come into a visible view of a powdery substance, which is what we have seen here in Salt to be laced with fentanyl, to take that precaution and to back away, to put on any protective equipment they may have, including gloves, masks.
Officers are also prepared to jump into action if they encounter someone having a medical emergency. So they've all been trained on using Narcan, the medication that can stop an overdose. Some Salt officers are also getting another tool.
We're in the process right now of ordering respirators for our officers, mainly the detectives who are going to be dealing with the incidents that occurred this past summer here in Salt.
Chief Flores says he constantly thinks about the people who overdosed on fentanyl this summer. He hopes all the changes his department makes can save lives.
At the end of the day, our job is to preserve life, and we want to do our best to do anything we can to do it. And unfortunately, we can't do everything, but hopefully speaking with you today, maybe the message will get out and bring some awareness.
And Stephanie now joins us live here in the studio. And Steph, something that always strikes me about fentanyl is people take it a lot of times having no idea. They may be taking something else. It's laced with fentanyl, and there's no way to tell.
Right. So this is, you could look at this 2 ways. There are people who are addicted to fentanyl, right? They're in a different category. But the ones that we're focusing on for now, just in these pieces that I've done this week, are kids and other people who take this drug not knowing what it is. It might be marked, they might be thinking that they're taking Adderall or or Xanax or something like that. And then it contains a little bit, just a small amount of fentanyl, and that's enough.
Yeah, there's even been, we've reported on young adults who thought they were taking Adderall, but it was laced with fentanyl because they didn't get it over the counter. But just let's talk about, I mean, this is an important story, obviously, with the Fighting Fentanyl series you're doing and the KSAT Explains story that you did, Myra, as well. How potent is this stuff? I mean, we talk about how small, it takes. I mean, that's really the scariest part, is it not?
Yes, it doesn't take much. Can we throw up that picture? Because we do have a graphic to show people so that they have some sort of a reference to this. Yeah, you see that? That right there. It's 50 times stronger than heroin, 100 times stronger than morphine. That's the stuff that the doctor gives you after you have surgery so that you're not in pain. And 3 milligrams of fentanyl, which is what you're seeing on your screen, just tiny, tiny amount, that's enough to kill an average adult male.
And that's something that when we went for that Explains piece we did on fentanyl last fall, we went up to the DEA lab in Dallas. They showed us that 2 to 3 milligram amount. And what it looked like to me is not even enough to really, if you think about a Splenda packet, one little tap to put in your coffee or something, that is way more than what we're talking about. I mean, this is like a few granules out of a Splenda packet, for example, that is enough to be lethal.
That's right. It's potent stuff. And I also want to go back to something else because we spoke to so many families who are being affected by this, and it's absolutely heartbreaking. One of the reasons that we're doing this is because there needs to be a conversation about this. Lots of parents, maybe in our day, it was maybe different drugs that kids were experimenting with. But these are pills. And for some reason, some teens think, oh, it's just a pill. right? Because so many people are on antidepressants, and so they might put it in that category. But again, they don't know what they're taking. Yeah. And as a result, you have heartbroken families who have lost their children to this. We want you to hear from some parents right now. One of them is a father who his daughter was a UTSA student. She dreamed of being a doctor. She did not have any issues with substance abuse, and she passed away. Listen.
First thought that went through my head was fentanyl, was because it's like, that's the only thing that could have taken my daughter down.
We found out that after their investigation, they said that there was a pill found next to Kevin in an Altoids tin can with a pill in a bag. It was a light blue colored pill with the M30 logo stamped into it.
So, Stephanie, how are people getting this? I think that's important to point out here, too, because sometimes they don't know what they're getting.
Right. Online, through their friends, just passing pills around. And that's why it's so hard to stop. And this is also why school districts like Hayes CISD, the parents that you just heard from, they were from the Hayes CISD, and they lost their son last year to a fentanyl overdose. And he also didn't know what he was taking. He thought he was taking Xanax. So there's just so that's why they're just telling people, they're telling parents, please talk to your kids about this so that they don't take risks.
And that's the first part. Mm-hmm. Don't be afraid to talk to your kids about this.
Yes.
You'll regret it if you don't.
Yes, always. I mean, and that's, it's just heartbreaking when you listen to parents and they think, if I could just have that one conversation with my kid, or I thought my kid knew. The girl, Jessie Falsing, whose father you heard from a moment ago, she was passing out Narcan a few weeks before she passed away. She tried to educate people about this stuff, and it killed her.
Yeah. All of your stories, all online. We have that explains we referenced as well, all giving a good overview of what this is, how people are getting it, and how to start those conversations.
Correct. It's Fighting Fentanyl, and you have a number of these stories already on our website. And we just encourage people to talk to us, and if there's something that they want us to focus on, because this is really going to be an ongoing commitment that we have here at KSAT to talk about this so that people have the resources they need to fight this.
Finding the resources is often the hardest part, and we can help with that as well.
Yes.
Stephanie, thank you.
Thanks.
We'll be right back.
Look outside with live cam. Still warm out there, but not quite as so as we have seen earlier this week. Adam, what's on tap next?
Well, weak fronts dropping in right now, and that's going to cool us down for tomorrow. Some cooler air and, of course, significant cloud cover keeping our temperatures down. This evening, we'll just gradually fall off, and you're not going to really feel the chill. I mean, 9 o'clock, 67 degrees, midnight, 59. Tomorrow morning, right near 60 for the commute, but noticeably cooler the next couple of days. We'll get into that. Also, our average last freeze is coming up. We'll talk about that, and I'll give you the odds of another strong cold front in just a bit.
In the buzz today, the state of Florida considering making it illegal for dogs to have their heads out of the window of a moving car.
Yeah, this is part of an animal welfare bill making its way through the state Senate there. The measure would ban owners from letting dogs put their heads out the windows of a moving vehicle and sit in laps in a car. Experts say the safety of the act is debatable, but if a window is open enough for a dog to stick its head out, they could potentially jump out.
It also allows for dogs to get foreign objects in their eyes. That's what proponents of this bill say. In addition, the bill would make it illegal to declaw cats and limiting the time that animals can be tethered outside.
Paul McCartney still making music. He's collaborating with the Rolling Stones now. The former Beatle plays bass on one track of the Stones' new album. It is their first since drummer Charlie Watts died in 2021.
Yeah, the Beatles and Stones have been so-called rivals for more than 50 years, but they've actually worked together in the past. McCartney and John Lennon actually wrote the Stones' first hit, I Want to Be Your Man. And 4 years later, Stones frontman Mick Jagger was actually in the studio when the Beatles recorded All You Need Is Love. NASA scientists say they may have figured out what's behind those mysterious red streaks on Jupiter's moon, Europa. They suspect it's a new type of salty ice.
The moon has an ocean that sits below a thick shell of ice, and researchers believe these red streaks on the surface are from the water and the salts combining. But the combination does not match any known substance here on Earth. So scientists tried to recreate what they were seeing in a lab. They combined water, table salt, cold temperatures, and high pressure. By doing that, they created a new type of solid crystal that scientists believe is what may exist on Europa's surface.
Are they going to call it Europa Salt? They should.
I don't know.
A bride and groom already showing family and friends they're able to weather hard times and sticky situations. For better or worse, you might wonder, why are they getting their picture taken in an elevator?
And they look happy about it.
Yeah.
The North Carolina newlyweds and some of their guests had to be rescued after getting trapped in an elevator on their wedding day. Following the ceremony, the couple got in a hotel elevator to head up to the after party, or that's what their plan was anyway. They got up about 5 feet when they heard a boom and the doors wouldn't open. The Charlotte firefighters were called in, but it took 2 hours before they figured out how to get the couple out.
Yeah, they ended up building a new elevator system, if you will, using ropes and rescue equipment. Fire responders hoisted the bride, the groom, and their guests to safety, one person at a time. And unfortunately, the bride and groom missed the party. But later on, they did attend a reunion to thank their heroes. Is that good? Is that considered good luck?
Yes.
Like rain on your wedding day is considered
yeah,
good luck? Getting stuck in an elevator?
I don't know if there's an old wives' tale for getting stuck in an elevator.
Absolutely good luck.
Okay.
Fantastic luck.
That's what I thought.
It's good luck.
Yeah.
Yep.
It seems like it would be.
It's an old wives' tale, I think, right?
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah. Elevator
something blue,
stuck.
something borrowed,
You know.
stuck in an elevator.
Stuck in an elevator. Check, check, and check.
Check, got it all, right? However that goes, I don't know.
Love in an Elevator was an Aerosmith song.
True. See, there we have it.
Yeah.
Proof.
Well, that just answers everything.
It says it all. All right, I want to talk a little bit about our average last freeze, what we have going on right now, and our temperature trend in the days ahead, and even beyond the 7-day forecast. First of all, look at this photo that we got today on KSAT Connect, through the Weather Authority app. Bluebonnet already popping up in Floresville. It's nice to see that. Now, this doesn't mean that we're completely done with wintertime right now, just because we've got some spring wildflowers popping up here and there and some bluebonnets in a few isolated spots. Now, our average last freeze is tomorrow, February 24th in San Antonio. It's even later, well into March as you get up into the hill country. And now, I don't think we're necessarily going to have another freeze anytime soon, or really in the far extended forecast. You look at the morning temperature trend, and the coolest we'll get is down into the 40s, 47 Saturday and 46 on Tuesday. But there is an indication that we'll have another strong cold front toward the end of next week, like about this time next week or even on into Friday. There's colder air out there, plenty of cold air. We're talking single digits and even below zero up to the north. For now, that cold air is going to stay bottled up there. Now, let's go through time, through the weekend, middle of next week. We stay moderate. Actually, we'll be in the 80s by Monday through Wednesday of next week. But notice that blue color. That's going to move in around next Friday, maybe even Saturday. And that would mean some noticeably cooler temperatures and maybe even some morning readings back down into the upper 30s by next Friday morning. So there is the indication of another strong cold front. I just think odds are against a freeze with that cold front. And you look at our high temperature trend, 57 tomorrow, cool, 63 on Saturday, below average, but then we're back into the 80s for the early and middle part of next week. Still a bit of a wild card next Thursday. We have 76 now, but it really depends heavily on exactly when that next noticeable and strong cold front would move through. We actually have a boundary, a little cold front that moved through and now it's stalled out. Dew points in the 40s locally, 60s down to the south. Cotulla 63, Kennedy a dew point of 70, Victoria 72, very sticky. But then you travel to Gonzales, dry, dew point of 49, 54 right now, the dew point in Pleasanton. So with this boundary in place and stalled for a few days, upper level winds riding up and over it coming off the Pacific with moisture, it's going to mean some clouds and even a little bit of dampness. I like how our Futurecast shows it gray all night and all day tomorrow, and pretty much all of Saturday it's going to be gray. But by tomorrow afternoon, we'll even develop a few sprinkles here and there. Nothing significant, just a few nuisance sprinkles popping up, especially Saturday night or Friday night into Saturday morning. With that will be some drizzle as well for the weekend mornings. Now we'll take what we can get, but it's not real moisture. We're still in extreme and exceptional drought in our neck of the woods, especially Bexar County and northward, and that's the worst across the state. We do have a few sprinkles possible Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, but that's it. Otherwise, some drizzle, especially drizzle in the mornings, both Saturday and Sunday as this weekend. And we could squeeze in a little bit of late day sun this weekend, but I don't anticipate too much of it. All right, we're running out of time. I've got a new thermometer winner. I've been working on the homemade thermometers, and today's winner comes from San Antonio, Josephine Ramirez, winner of a homemade thermometer. And this is the same type of wood that I had last week. It's kind of hard to get a good angle there. And I believe it's Babinga, but I do have to be honest that when I don't know exactly what type of it is and it's a unique wood, I just love saying Babinga.
Yeah. I think all of them should be made out of Babinga.
It sounds good to me, you know?
It's Babinga. It's Babinga. Yeah, it's Babinga.
Yeah.
Whatever. Anyway, this is the natural color of the wood and, of course, the handmade thermometer. Go to KSAT.com/thermometer to enter the drawing.
As a matter of fact, I think they should from now on be called Babinga Zingas.
Bada binga.
Yeah.
Bada babinga.
Babinga will be right back.
Forget about it. Local artist sharing his journey of embracing two worlds, two cultures that offer inspiration for his artwork are now on display in a new exhibit.
Tiffany Huertas has more about the stories behind his art that started in his homeland of Rwanda. It offers a universal message that everyone should believe in themselves.
I'm just very, very excited to share that, art is freedom.
That's the name of the latest exhibition at the Carver Community Cultural Center.
Got the coin that's from where I come from, Rwanda.
Artist Alan Gekwaya moved from Rwanda to the United States about 10 years ago.
It's a citizen watch, so I put in citizen of Rwanda and U.S. because now I'm a dual citizenship, which is awesome.
Alan uses vibrant colors and recycled items in his art.
So I go to thrift shops, buy thrift stuff, and then I also see how I can incorporate that into my artwork.
You can find Alan's artwork around the city.
This is one of the art pieces displayed at the airport. It shows his journey as an artist and the different places he's traveled to.
Alan hopes to inspire others through his work.
I want to show other artists, other, people of color, people, just minorities, people come from different areas to really just believe in themselves and really, chase their dreams.
Tiffany Huertas, KSAT12 News.
Bit cloudy tomorrow, actually very cloudy tomorrow, and we could have a few sprinkles, especially later on in the day, developing by the noon hour and into the afternoon. And we're just looking at very isolated sprinkles popping up. And cool, 50s all day long, from 50 in the morning to 57 for the high temperature in the afternoon. Saturday, a little bit warmer at 63, but more dampness, morning drizzle and sprinkles, both Saturday and Sunday.
Not laughing at your forecast, but the dance that you were doing while you just did all that.
If only camera 3 was on.
It's the Babinga.
The Babinga dance.